A video on tuner cars was well overdue, and I know a lot of you guys have been asking for such a video. And I thought I'd start with Japanese cars first, and if this video does well, I'll consider doing another one for European and American tuners. Oh, and by the way, I did not feature any of the Nissan Skylines in this video since they weren't offered here in the United States. But my previous video does feature the R34, so if you want to check that out after watching this video, feel free to do so. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. My name is Christian. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to subscribe for weekly automotive content. Now, let's begin. The first Japanese car on the list is the Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution 8 and 9. This is arguably Mitsubishi's greatest creation, unless of course you were more into the Eclipse GSX. The Evo gained most of its reputation throughout the 1990s with the World Rally Championship success. That may come as a surprise to many Americans, since the first Evo to make it to America wasn't until 2003, which is right around the same time when Too Fast, Too Furious came out. Coincidence? I think not. That movie served as a massive commercial to the Evo, and Mitsubishi crushed it when it came to sales. With its small form factor, all-wheel drive system, and engine that's just waiting to be modified, it's not rare to find Evos making 400, 500, and even 600 horsepower, which is a massive gain compared to its 271 horsepower you get from a 2-liter 4-cylinder engine. A Greek company called Extreme Tuners managed to build one with 2,000 horsepower. Obviously, most people won't take tuning that far for obvious reasons, but just know that with moderate tuning, you'll be able to keep up with most Corvettes. Even though Evos are no longer offered here in the US, aftermarket support is still as strong as ever. Honestly, there really isn't a substitute for their Evo, and it's sad that they aren't even made anymore. And for those wondering why I didn't mention the Evo 10, I didn't think they had a major impact in the tuning scene like the previous generations did. When the Evo first made its way to the US, it was a perfect example of when an automaker listens to its fans. Currently in the US, Mitsubishi is looking kinda sad, to be honest. The next car is a Subaru Impreza WRX STI. It's only right that I talk about this car right after talking about the Mitsubishi Evo. They were one of the biggest automotive rivals that ever existed. The first STI officially available in America was in year 2004, just 1 year after the Evo. While it seemed like both of them were always neck to neck competitively, when it came to rally championships from 2004 to 2006, the STI always came out on top. And unlike the Evo, the STI still exists today under a slightly different name, competing with cars like the Honda Civic Type R, Ford Focus RS, and the Volkswagen Golf R. Unlike what was offered in Japan and Europe, the first STI offered in the US came equipped with a 2.5-liter turbocharged Boxer 4 instead of a 2-liter version. You know, Subaru wanted to give us the torque levels us Americans demand. The result was a deadly backroad weapon, as is, without modifications. But there is a lot of room for improvement should you want to take your rally car to the next level. It's pretty cheap and easy to get an STI to a 300 wheel horsepower, and even at 350 wheel horsepower, you will have a solid car that shouldn't bug you with reliability issues. And if you're looking for attention, this car manages to get lots of it. It seems like when you're driving one, everyone wants to race you. It might just be because of the big rear spoiler you carry in the back, which by the way, it's fully functional as it provides necessary downforce for this type of car. Even the new generation STIs are solid picks. You gotta give Subaru props for not forgetting about its enthusiast base, unlike other companies. Mitsubishi. The third car is the The third car on the list is the Toyota Supra, in particular the MK4. This car might just be the most exciting one on the list. Funny because the words Toyota and exciting are not really words that sound really good together, unless of course you're Scotty Kilmer. But in all seriousness, no other Toyota has become as iconic as the Toyota Supra. And no, not even the Toyota AE86. The Supra is a Hall of Famer in the world of sports cars, and it comes equipped with arguably the most legendary tuner engine in history, the 2JZ, the naturally aspirated 3-liter inline-6 and a 3-liter turbocharged inline-6, which was the popular choice for tuning. Some reports say that the turbo engine was built to handle around 600 horsepower, meaning plenty of room for tuning. There are some rare cases of Supra owners being able to crank out 1,000 horsepower with stock internals. It's pretty obvious that Supra's engine was over-engineered, which is why tuners drool over this engine. Sucks that they are hard to come across by nowadays. Well taken care of examples have become garage queens, and the price for them continue to climb every year. What's not to like about them? You get a legendary tuner car that has lots of performance potential while having the reliability of Toyota. And please don't get me started about the new Toyota Supra. I'll wait for that car to come out first before giving my impressions. The fourth tuner car on the list is a Nissan 240SX, which includes both the S13 and the S14. What a surprise the 240SX made the list. Nah, I'm sure most of you knew this car would be included in the video. It's basically the same car as the Silvia that was offered in Japan, but with a different engine. The 240SX in the US came equipped with a KA24 series engine that most would find rather boring, while the Silvia 180SX twins got different SR20 options, including the ever famous SR20 DET. Which brings me to the next point. 240SX owners love engine swapping, whether it's the 1JZ, the 2JZ, the SR20, and even an LS Series V8 engine from GM. Thankfully, the LS V8 and the 240SX fit each other like it was always meant to be. In fact, the weight distribution is more balanced with the V8 than with the stock KA24 engine. Add the fact that the 240SX is lightweight from factory, rear-wheel drive, tons of performance modifications available, and it's not really a surprise that this car is one of the most popular options for drifting. I mean, it was one of the cheapest rear-wheel drive cars you can get at the time. Even though the S13 and the S14 didn't sell well back when they came out, they are in so much demand in the modern era. It's nearly impossible to find a 240SX completely stock and in good condition. You're able to find the S14s in a fairly good condition, but they aren't the cheapest. But if you manage to get a good deal on one, modification parts are plentiful and affordable. Next car is a 3rd generation Mazda RX7, the good old rotary engine, a true physics bender. At the time, the 1.3 made power output of engines nearly twice that size. Rotary engines tend to move a lot of air by design and operate at higher temperatures, making them perfect for turbo applications. Even though these type of engines have been abandoned by car manufacturers for some time now, they have a strong following. You'll always hear the rotary enthusiasts list the advantages the rotary design has over the conventional piston design. Rotary engines are normally labeled as unreliable and difficult to tune by most people. The truth is that they can be great engines, but it'll definitely take much more attention and care from the owner to make them last. From factory, the RX-7 produced 255 horsepower and 217 pound-feet of torque and ran from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 5 seconds, which was very fast back in the 90s. A V10 powered Viper of the same era did 0 to 60 in 4.6 seconds. Let that sink in for a little bit. It's a beautiful thing what two triangular rotors that spin very fast inside of pinched ovals can achieve. And the design of the RX-7 is stunning in my opinion. And dare I say, I think the exterior design looks better of those of the MK4 Toyota Supra. What do you think? Which one looks better? Just remember, if you're looking to buy an RX-7, make sure to ensure that it has been well looked after and properly serviced. The 6th and final car on the list is the Honda Civic, and particularly the pre-2000 year models. This has to be the most common tuner car you'll see around, mainly because they can be found for cheap and essentially people of all ages can get their hands on one, which explains why the Civic is also the #1 car that gets riced out. You gotta love the chrome taillights, the welded muffler tip, and the massive spoiler. Civics had never really been an outstanding performer, but it doesn't take much to make it a sleeper. For a few $1,000s, most Civic owners just swap out the stock engine with a B-series engine from a junkyard Acura Integra and slap a turbocharger kit on it. The result is a car that no one would expect to move that fast. Another thing about the Honda Civic is the massive market when it comes to aftermarket mods. There are various companies that till this day support the platform, so choices are essentially infinite. Same goes when it comes to online forum support and information in general. A quick search to Google will bring up some of the best tuning guides with personal experience, that way you don't have to make some of the same mistakes. I used to own a 1999 Honda Civic Coupe myself, and I have to say, it's one of the most fun cars I've ever owned. Replacement parts are cheap, maintenance is easy, and the car is near bulletproof. If you enjoyed the video, make sure and hit that like button, especially if you want to see another tuner video. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe with notifications on, that way you don't miss out on my next upload. Let me know in the comment section below which of the 6 cars featured in this video is your favorite. Like always, thanks for watching. Till next time.